Superman vs. Batman. From the Melanin Man. Produced by the Konscious Kings. Recently, I watched Batman vs. Superman on demand the other night. And as I mentioned in the X-Men, Apocalypse Decoded post, you can't pay attention to what the critics say, whether positive or negative. And granted, I feel for the trick because I didn't go to watch the movie as soon as it came out. At the end of the day, it's paid for propaganda. If you are able to gain anything of substance from a Hollywood movie production that goes beyond emotional stimulation or entertainment, then that is a good thing. I noticed some hidden information in that movie that should be obvious to you if you have been reading this blog for a period of time. When you are able to clear your body of all waste, raise your consciousness, and begin to awaken that third eye, you will be able to see beyond the distraction the powers that be want you to focus on. And besides all the senseless action that the movie presents, Batman vs. Superman delivers the information that is necessary to better understand ourselves as blacks and the world around us. So let's get to it. We should familiar with the background of Superman and his origins from Krypton by way of the comics, cartoons, previous movies, etc. If not, here's a brief summary. Superman originated from Krypton, named aptly after the element kryptonite, which is deadly to all Krypton people due to the radiation pollution. On the planet Krypton, Superman is a regular being just like the rest of the Krypton people. The Krypton civilization was technologically advanced over tens of thousands of years compared to Earth at the time of its destruction. The Krypton people also lived to be thousands of years old. This scenario is reminiscent of black humans who dominated the Earth thousands of years ago that ruled over civilizations that were considered highly technologically advanced for its time. These people had the ability to live hundreds of years due to the fact that they knew how to take care of bodies through a proper diet familiar to their biology. Krypton was a lush paradise at one point in a distant past, but war and the accompanying radiation pollution from decimated the planet, causing it to implode. Sounds familiar? Superman is sent off to Earth prior to its destruction. He was sent to Earth mainly to guide the people of Earth from a dystopian wasteland Krypton had become. Also, he carries the pure genetic code from the people of his planet also. This information is esoteric to a select few, but there are sources that suggest that the origins of the black melanated human are from the cosmos, meaning we are essentially microcosms of the entire universe. Thousands of years ago, most if not all humans were master creators and naturally introspective creatures that were not in need of external stimulation, unlike in modern times. The first human on this planet carried a pure DNA code before it was tampered with after their asterisk decline on Earth. So you get the drift. Now to the movie. This discussion will be centered mostly around the conflict between Batman and Superman. Superman is classified by his normal peers and authorities as a meta-human. His powers and abilities transcend those of normal capabilities. The definition for the root word of meta means higher, beyond, transcending. Symbolically, Superman represents the black melanated humans in their true form from ancient times. Wonder Woman, who is also introduced in the movie, is classified as a meta-human. Well, Batman is the normal, not human, who has to compensate for his lack of meta-human abilities with inherited wealth, not unlike most rich white families, smoke and mirror trickery, and overall luck, wearing a costume that is black only in color, not in nature. Batman has beef with Superman, dating back to the first movie The Man of Steel. While protecting Metropolis, Superman inadvertently destroyed one of the Wayne Enterprises building, killing many people. Batman's persistence for revenge against Superman is magnified by the fact that he believes that if provoked, Superman could wipe out the planet if he sees fit, not wanting to play by the rules set by his normal peers. This is reminiscent of the irrational and illogical anger Caucasians, Europeans, the normal, have for the melanated majority of this planet since time immemorial, seeking to prevent their extinction by any means necessary. Those who have melanin are still unaware of this reality to this day. Lex Luthor, who is the wealthy megalomaniac antagonist, helps fuel the tension between the two by manipulating certain conflicts to his advantage. In the beginning of the film, where Lois Lane is taken hostage by a terrorist group, Martha Kent, Superman's adoptive mother, is kidnapped by Luthor to entice Superman to fight Batman, etc. The kryptonite that is found at sea is stolen by Batman, as Luthor secretly desired to happen, from Luthor to use against Superman when they battled. Luthor serves as a metaphor to today's elite, the 1%ers, who seek to create chaos and manufacture tension between the normal and the melanated majority to inflict a worldwide martial law, New World Order type of circumstances that works in their interest for more power and control. Lex Luthor is also able to create the concoction of a monster, named Doomsday in the comics, by mixing his blood with the blood from the corpse of Zod, antagonist from the Man of Steel. Who had abilities like Superman. It was stated in the movie that the Council of Krypton prohibited such an act, something of an abomination. This represents the genetic contamination that occurs when a melanin-dominant individual and a melanin-recessive individual produce offspring. The mixing of the blood was prohibited between different races of people in the ancient times as well. Speaking of the kryptonite, we should be familiar with the fact that it is Superman's Achilles heel. Batman successfully used it to his advantage during their battle and nearly killed Superman before Batman came to his senses. Kryptonite is very similar to radiation pollution, particularly most damning to black melanated humans. Radiation, taken from Google, is the emission of energy as electromagnetic waves or as moving subatomic particles, especially high-energy particles that cause ionization. The emission of energy from artificial light, X-rays, radio waves, microwaves, gamma rays, etc. is very deadly to the black melanated human, which is constantly being hit by this pollution every second, every minute, every day. Our enemy tactically uses radiation against us. Lastly, there is a scene when Superman is fighting Doomsday and they are struck with an atomic bomb by the US government, knocking Superman briefly into space. The effects from the explosion left Superman as a pale, wrinkling, destitute creature, until the sun's rays touched him, revitalizing him, bringing him back to life. Superman is able to have his powers on Earth because of a yellow sun. This situation is very much similar to melanin-rich individuals who are benefited from sun's rays, reinvigorating them. I have to reiterate this was a very insightful movie, if you have melanin. There are signs everywhere in this movie, and I may not have touched everything. If you have watched the movie already, feel free to comment and let me know your opinion, whether it be that I'm on the money or if I'm batshit crazy, like Batman trying to fight Superman. I'm open to suggestions. And on the real tip, we know who would have won that fight if it was fought fair without the advantages access to Batman, i.e. home turf of Gotham, the kryptonite. Just like we know whose genetic DNA will naturally dominant if certain entities stop fucking up and fucking with the planet to their advantage. Thanks for listening. We are the Conscious Kings.